All right, today is day one of the Katy Trail. I promised y'all we'd do a large event this year, so we're going to be doing the Katy Trail. I told you I wanted to do Deadwood, but we decided to do Katy Trail. This is in Missouri. It's the longest continuous trail. It's 240 miles. We're starting here in Clinton. There's supposed to be a Bellevue ring, and I'm not sure. I know it's at the very end, but there's supposed to be one at the start and one at the end, and maybe they consider another area the start, but technically this is the start. Again, Clinton, Missouri. We're taking off on day one. Not sure how many videos I'll make, if it'll be 2 or 3 or whatever, but the plan is to ride, try to get Airbnbs. I don't want to camp, but I have the gear to camp. And as you can see, an old caboose behind me, that actually ran on the MKT, which this trail line came out of Texas through Missouri, up to St. Louis at one time and another area. We're going to take a little look around at what was a depot, but it's not a depot anymore. It's the trailhead here. And I'll show you my bike and we'll get the hell out of here. Again, all you guys on Omaha e-bike, start hooking up with me for rides. If you're on Omaha or if you're on e-bike enthusiasts or trail rides or whatever, if you're in the Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa area, come and hit me up, man. I ask people to ride with me all the time. I know there's a ton of people on the Katy Trail, but not one person could say, hey, I'll meet you here and ride a mile with you. Because riding's fun, but you know, it'd be fun to meet people too. Again, as always, please, please, please like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Even if you don't like notifications, turn them off, but at least it's there. And share the video. We need to get the subscribers up. We're about 5 away from the first giveaway, which I'll announce so that everybody can get comments in, because then I'm going to look at all the comments from the time I call it till the previous, and I'm just going to put everybody in the drawing, and I'll notify you. All right? Well, let's go ahead with that and get the heck out of here. Boom. All right, so as you can see, we're in Clinton. Points of interest here, I didn't go to any, unfortunately. I did stay the night here, if you look at my Instagram, in this really cool A-frame cabin. Really nice place. It says it's on the lake, but I couldn't find the lake. But I did do an Instagram. I didn't put it on this video, though. So check out my Instagram, and you can check out that little 2-minute clip. But anyways, so we're going from Clinton to Calhoun will be the next stop. So you can pause that and look at how long this trail is. Now in Calhoun, I'll try to check out the milepost 255, the grain elevator, as a testament to Katy Railroad heydays, because that's really all that's there. And I'll try to check that out for us. One thing I want to do on this video, because a lot of people don't do it, they don't use the hovercrafts as much. I've seen a few use them. And guess what? I finally do have a hover air. We're going to be using that, and I'm going to take time on this trip, not to just go to the next spot and just have a bunch of trail video, but to actually look at points of interest if I can. Another goal we do have, and we'll see what happens by day 3, but another goal I have is to get on the Amtrak, record some off the Amtrak, and ride it back halfway back. So that way I don't have to do it both ways fully, because that'd be like 440 miles, and that's a little too much. I don't have enough time for that. Anyways, this is the Katy Trail State Park. One thing I like about Missouri is all these trails are free. And look at the pack. I don't know how well this tent's going to hold on, to be honest with you. And I don't like the saddlebags I used. I got some new saddlebags because they're waterproof. And my other ones, I wasn't sure if they were truly waterproof. And look, I got 2 extra batteries. This bike is actually only supposed to carry 1, but I have 2. And you can see all the bags. I've done everything I could. But there was one other saddlebag that I used on the rooster tail on the first one. If you look way back on that video, they had 2 saddlebags and a cool top bag. And then I could put my ice bag on top of that. I should have got that one, but I didn't. So we'll see how this holds up. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stopping. All right, with that said, let's get on the trail. I don't know how much to be talking or what's going to be going on because I'm going to try to film more with the GoPro because that seems to do a better recording. And I'm also going to be fooling with the hovercraft. So it's going to be a long day today, I think. Just trying to learn how to use all this equipment. All right. Peace, love. All right. We're starting recording. We're about, maybe a mile in, 2 miles in. It's pretty boring. I noticed this bike. I love this bike. But it isn't designed for, it's designed for good long trips, but not really for the weight. I'm probably carrying only about 50 pounds of weight, but I also weigh 220, and on the front I probably got another 15 pounds, so I'm probably pushing, I don't know, maybe 300 pounds on the bike. And I know they say rear rack can handle 150, front can handle this, but it's still total weight. And I'm noticing my tires are, even though they're pumped up fully, they're kind of mushed down. The bad thing about that is that will slow your battery, or use up your battery more. And in my opinion, with that drag, you're going to go slower too, and more of a chance to have a pop, which I did not get a tube. I was going to get a tube because I don't do patches. I was going to get a tube, but this bike, it has 29-inch tubes, which is pretty rare, and I couldn't find a 29-incher, at least at the Walmart, because I wasn't shopping all over. I've literally shelled out already before this trip's even started about $1,000 for bags, supplies, stuff like that. Of course, the Hover Air was probably my most expensive purchase. As it is, this is only the I got the X1. I didn't go for the Pro, so I could save $300. I still spent like $800 for this because I got the cycling. Again, we'll be taking shots of that a little bit later here. I'm just trying to get a feel for this. I've watched a ton of videos on the Katy Trail, and you all know me. I like to find trails and just ride them and see what happens. Obviously, I know a lot about this trail, but there's still a lot I don't know, because these recordings, even people that do 3- and 4-day recordings, don't show everything. I did add the second handlebar. I've literally got 2 cameras, my cell phone, the Hover Air beacon, all that thing. We'll show that to you in a little bit. That's crazy. Plus the mirrors, which really are ineffective where they're positioned on here. This was, I got this with another bike I had that had a smaller frame. And these stupid mirrors aren't the kind that go on the outside of your grips, which I don't like those, but they actually are the ones that would work. Or even maybe about 1 more inch of plastic. Pushing this out further would be good too. But on the way here, as y'all know, I hate driving. It took me almost 5 hours to get where I was going. That's because I did take some. Like I was saying, we're about 15 miles in now. Let's see if we can get a little bit more ride out of here before it decides to shut off. It keeps shutting off something about the SD card, which I have reformatted. And in case this wasn't picked up, I don't know if you can see it on the trail. But this trail is not maintained very well, at least at this area. I get you're gonna have brush and stuff, but there's literally so many freaking big, thick sticks, which I already think I screwed up my front wheel. And we're only 15 miles into the ride. And there are bike shops, but you and I both know they're not gonna fix my wheel because it's got a motor on it. And these bike shops don't mess with electric bikes. They'll fix the wheels, the tubes and stuff, but they're not going to take out the whole battery and put it onto a new wheel. To be honest, I don't know if I can even do that. I'm sure I could, but that's not something I've ever tried. I've never had until this bike, I've never had a bike that had a front motor, only the rear motors. And I've never dealt with the motors, to be honest with you. That's the one thing I haven't had to do. But yeah, I thought this trail would be more like this, straight up clean. Because I figured they'd come through here at least once, twice a week. I mean, I complain about the Wabash, but this one, the big sticks are bullshit. You're always going to have leaves and twigs because of the trees. I get it. But, yeah. But even weighted down, I think this bike, with both the batteries, the extra batteries and stuff, I think I could probably push 40 miles. Because normally with nothing on here and just the two batteries, I can do right at about 60 miles. So I'm going to minus that by 20 because I've never had this much gear. I mean, you've seen videos, I do have saddlebags and stuff, but usually there's not much in them. Just basic stuff like first aid, repair kits, a cap, towel for my wet head. All right. Hopefully we got some recording in this. I'm actually getting an earache, which is weird. It's not cold. It's 68 degrees, but the humidity still has to be about 80%. This is a neat bridge. Look, I've never seen that on the side. They've got a place to sit. Of course, you better be careful. West Fork, Taboo Creek. I don't know if you guys saw that, but let's count the bridges. This is bridge number 1. Count the bridges in the video. But anyways, I don't know if you noticed that. Something I always complain about on Wabash is they don't have any signs. This one has a little bit of signage. Pretty nice on that. I give credit for that. We're only averaging probably about, I'm going to say 16 miles an hour. I mean, the Relieve, whatever the fuck it is, I use that to track my rides. Actually, in this Utopia bike, I can track it as well. I've only used it once. But the Relieve always shows it as less. And I know it's not as bad as the Relieve, but I also know it's not what this is. Because this one says 31. And I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. But just so you know, I don't have the extra batteries plugged in. Because I noticed that when I have the extra battery plugged in, it uses both batteries. I thought that it would kind of switch and only pull, the juice would come out. But it's not like the old gas tanks that you had an A and B. No. And I don't care, unless you guys tell me different. But I have not yet to see it provenly work that, it's just draining both batteries, but you're getting more life. You're not. Because last time I did this, I used one battery, and I went the same distance as I did with two batteries. So, what I did this time is, kept them unplugged. Because worst thing that happens is my main battery dies, I plug in the second battery. Granted, it doesn't have as much juice, but I got two of them, so two will at least equal one. And when I get to a town, I can try to find a charger. That's the other thing about this trail. A lot of the places do have plug-ins. But like the Wabash, I found a few plug-ins there finally, but most store owners and stuff will let you plug in. They don't care. Because it literally, to charge me up full, probably costs $2 in electricity. And I'm more than willing to pay. See, another sign says Edwards. Now, I don't know if that means there was a small town there at one time, or if there is a village there now, across the street. That I don't know. I do know I've already used 2 bars of battery. We'll get up here to the break. Then I'm going to pause the video for a while, save some battery on the cameras. Should actually do the hover camera, huh? Hover air. Since we're in a field. Might be a fun idea. Let's try that. All right. Turn the recording back on. This is such a long one, I don't want to waste too much recording on the trail. All right, first, this is a second bridge, Sand Creek. Again, we're counting bridges. This one actually shows the old trestle, though. I love it when the old trestle is there, the old iron part of the track. That's always fine. But unfortunately, well, fortunately, I mean, I don't want wrecks, but for landmark sakes, there's no wrecks. And that's the other thing on this trail, like Hopek and all that, I've always found like little old pieces of train memorabilia. Here there are some train stations that have been redone, but I don't know if there's any leftover railroad track or any old telegraph poles or anything like that. I haven't noticed that in anybody else's video, so we'll find out. All right. And this is Bridge 3. We're going to play this game called Count Bridges. Woo! I don't know, it's like I said, it's only 68 degrees, but I was sweating so bad. But you get into this brush, maybe that's why my ears start hurting. Because my ears, since I was a kid, are very sensitive. If it gets cold, I get superior earaches, man. So I have to wear a cap or whatever. Which, this year, I bought a cool mask last year, and then I got another one that goes with my helmet. It's an insert. So that's pretty cool. I like the first one I did buy, though, because it's like baklava type mask. The only problem is if you're wearing sunglasses or glasses in general, it fogs them up. And as you all know, you have to wear some type of glasses out here, otherwise you get bugs in your eyes. This helmet does have a visor. I like my other helmet better for that. See, here we come, Calhoun. That was the city that was on the map. Anyways, the other one, because it's a clip-on, it's magnetic, so I can pop it on or off. The only thing is it wasn't clear. It's always a sunglass version. This one at least is clear. It's just that it's always there. So I know it's going to eventually get broken. All right, another bridge. Not gonna call out the number. Okay, main battery's down to 2 bars. East Fork, Tebow Creek. No power. All right, we are taking a quick stop here. Bridge, what, 6? We're gonna, when I do the editing, we'll find out how good I am. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do this for the first day anyways. But I wanted to stop here, no trestle or anything, but you can see the cement. So it was off of a rail, but look at who I found. The cows. Whoops. It's not zooming in anymore. That's so cool. No cows. Seems like I should be darn close to that first major trailhead in Windsor. I actually was going to originally go out of Windsor. Kind of skip the beginning of that trail. Because it almost seems like that Clinton is not really part of it. It's listed, but again, there was no bell there to ring. So I don't know. I don't like adding miles, but it's closer to Omaha, so that's good. Believe me, when I start going home, I'm going to need that. All right, we've gone in about, I don't know, 5-6 miles since the last thing. Did a couple drone shots, and we have another bridge. So as promised, I want to show every bridge. I will say what's the bridge count, but add 1 because there was 1 bridge I didn't count. And we did pass a small trailhead, but I didn't record it, which I should have, because I was going to record every trailhead. Plus there was a dude on the sides. Like I've always told you, someone maintains shit on the sides. You don't see it as much on the Wabash, but if you notice here, I'll kind of come in on this area, but you see how that, and then look over here, see how it's all kind of trimmed back? There's a guy out there with his bulldozer thing doing it. Again, not like I haven't seen one of those, but anything going on the trails I like to show you. All right, we made it to Windsor, like I said. This is a sign for the Katy Trail State Park, the Windsor Trailhead. As you can see, they got a really neat caboose here. You see a lot of cabooses, I guess, but still. This one, again, you can't get in it, and the windows are so clouded you can't see in it. And this would have been, I guess, where the train depot might have been. You never really know that. I can't really walk up yet because of signage on there and stuff, but there's somebody up there sitting there. I don't know what the heck she's doing. So we'll look at that in just a minute. Try to catch that on the way out. Yes, we do have a here. As you can see, they got a place to park and everything for their buggies. Pretty cool. Not sure what they're doing. I am in the town of Windsor. We'll get to some pictures on that in a minute here. Didn't find the mill yet though. And it looks like they're trying to sell some stuff. All right. All right. Welcome to the Osage Plains, Prairie and Plain. Applying fire to the railroad corridor helps to restore and maintain the ancient prairies of Osage Plains. You can stop and read this. Prairie is a French word that trappers used in 1700s to describe vast grasslands or meadows in present-day Missouri and other states. Actually, it's so funny because I've trained in Oklahoma, lived in Kansas for quite a while, and both of those are very barren. Yet, Nebraska, it's got trees and stuff where I live, but not a lot of mountain and stuff like that. And Iowa's pretty flat. I actually find Missouri has a lot more trees and stuff, and more creeks and more stuff. But anyways, this is the second largest town in Henry County. Originally, the settlement was named Belmont when first platted on September 15th, 1855. Unfortunately, another Belmont already existed. The community eventually adopted the town's present name, honoring the 900-year-old castle and residence of the English monarchy. Okay, wherever that is. All right, coming to the trailhead at Green Ridge, Missouri. Nothing to note there. I don't like stopping when people are around. All right, let me get off of this. Go to the Casey's. All right. Leaving Greenwich. Damn. Been sneezing. Must be that time of the year. Actually, it's time spring. But anyways, nice little canopy area finally. Again, I'm not going to show everything, but unlike other YouTubers, I'm going to show more than just the pretty stuff. You're going to see the boring, the cool. Try to show every trailhead. And talk about the electricity. One thing, I don't know if I said this, but I only charged for 40 minutes and I got one bar. Because I really wanted to get to Sedalia, because I think there's a gift shop. But since it's government run, it's probably already closed or will be at 4 o'clock. Should stay open until 5. But I started at 10:30 and it's already, what? It's already gonna be 4 o'clock. Again, that is because I stopped an hour and a half at that one Casey's and then 40 minutes at this last one. So, if you're riding the trail, you have places to go. Now, in Green Ridge, there's also a little park area. I didn't check it, but there is electricity there. I didn't check to make sure it worked or not, so I'm not sure. But it is what it is. They said it was like 10 to 15 miles to Sedalia. Again, if I have the relive posted at the beginning of the video, don't follow that because it's showing the time, but it's showing time I forgot to pause when I'm sitting at a Casey's. So mine's about 2 hours, and that's the actual bike ride time. All right, well, once again, we'll just kind of cut off here. All right, back on again, just because it's a bridge. I have no clue what bridge count we're on now. I feel like something's hitting me with that. All right, just wanted to show that bridge. All right, another bridge. Camp Branch. Pretty good creek under this bridge. So keeping count, add 2, because there's 2, one earlier and one just a little bit ago that I did not film because I didn't feel like turning the camera on. We've been under this canopy now for about, what, 2 miles, so that's kind of cool. I'm waiting for my battery. It's on the last bar. I'm waiting for it to go red. I hate being on the last bar because you never can know exactly when it's going to go. All right, this is cool. They put an old railroad crossing here. I don't know if that's original or not, but when you go past it, it starts to give an alarm. That's pretty cool. And our battery is pretty much flashing, so I'm not sure how long this is going to last. That was cool, man. Ugh. That's someone's house. A real nice house back there. I think that's pretty cool. Somebody has some imagination. I love it. I should have doubled back because but I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, I try to find everything that's cool. What won't be cool is if I run out of e-bike. With these things. But I wanted to stop here real quick. We just left, maybe half a mile from Windsor. And here's the Katy Trail State Park. It's a 40-mile or 47-mile area going down this way. It's a spur. And originally I was going to go on that. However, because it actually gives me about 45 minutes closer to Omaha. And again, I don't like to drive, so it would have cut down my drive time. However, half the trail is not there. You have to ride on streets and roads, and all the people told me it's kind of a rough area as far as riding. You know, it's kind of not great.
And then I saw a video of the guy that did ride the piece that is good. And there's big thorns everywhere. And sure enough, he got a flat. Not saying I won't get a flat on here, but out of all the videos I've seen, that one scared me. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that because I'm not going to go 40-something miles, have a flat, and then be stuck. Anyways, we're on the Green Ridge, and it kind of ticks me off that at the trailhead there, there's nothing that tells me how far it is. And I couldn't look up on a stupid trail link. I couldn't look it up. It showed me the map, and didn't show me distances. You know, they always want you to pay for shit, and I'm not paying for shit. I already spent enough money on everything that I have. I mean, look at my stuff. You know, $100, $600. There's the hover air. That's $1,000 or $900. I mean, come on. The bike, $1,900. Actually, it's $2,700, but again, I didn't pay that because I'm a dealer. But still, point being, too much. So here's another bridge count. So I don't know how far it is to Green Ridge. And as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see that, my battery only has 3 bars. I sat there for about an hour and a half, or an hour and a half. Rock Island Spur. Now this shouldn't be the spur. I'll make sure I'm not on the spur. You ask these people. Hey, real quick, sorry. I don't mean to bother you, but I'm not on the spur, right?
No, not yet. The spur's up further.
Because it said Katy, or I'm sorry, it said the Rock Trail spur right there. And I want to make sure I'm still on the regular Katy trail.
You are on the regular trail to Sedalia.
And how far is my next town stop? Do you know?
Well, there's a little town. It's got like a Casey's grocery store, Casey's general store. That's probably 10 miles.
Okay.
And then there's nothing till the Sedalia.
And that's about, so what do you think? If you
want anything, I would stop at that.
And get some water.
Yeah.
And
there's a little There's a little pullover rest area, restroom. When you see that, you know you got to take a left right after that. That's where that Casey's is.
And then to Sedalia is about how far, do you think? Because my map won't show me.
We're about 20 miles from Sedalia.
That's because I'm thinking to hit Sedalia, and I'm thinking I can maybe make another 10 or 20 miles for the night.
I see.
You know, because I'm doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
and so I'm trying to plan it out.
Sure.
And I'm on an electric bike, but I can't pedal it if it goes dead.
All right, we made it to Sedalia. There's the depot there. And leaving Sedalia on time. And of course you got your cabooses. And they actually have a depot. Pretty awesome. And they actually have some railroad track. Now what's funny is the Katy Trail, see how the railroad track goes. It goes curved up there, but the trail itself for us goes this way. There are a lot of times from what I was told that there's some track out here too. Right there, that track. There are times I was told that the Katy Trail does not actually follow the same path. And you can see that on one of the bridges where, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm sorry. I've kind of lost my train of thought. I'm really tired. But yeah, 2 different types of cabooses. Again, nothing's open. I didn't get here in time. That's on me. I tried. I do have to find a place to charge to see if I'm going to go any further. Sedalia points of interest, the Sedalia Depot. Bothwell Lodge State Historic Sites. The Missouri State Fair, which we passed. The Dom Museum of Contemporary Art in Maple Leaf Park, I don't know. But we did see the State Fair. It's a Pettis County seat. So this is a county seat. Again, home of the Missouri State Fair. Construction of the Pacific Railroad was halted at Sedalia during the first few years of the Civil War, but resumed in earnest in 1864. Pretty interesting. It goes all the way to 1950. Interesting little art thing here. Not quite sure what it is. I mean, bunch of tools. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to see anything here. And I'm going to have to find a place to charge. But the bathrooms are baggage areas. You can see the old tracks on the ground. So this must have been a bigger station. "35 years making this trail." Boy, I need to get better at focusing, don't I? All right. One thing I noticed here that was really kind of neat is from here, it's 0.6 miles to Amtrak. And this is the point that I get off of the Amtrak. But if I don't get there by like Saturday early morning, I'm not going to do it, because if I get here, it's still almost a full day's ride to my car, because we've been going since 10:30. All right.